Doctors warn senior women. These 8 bathroom habits make older women smell bad. Senior health tips. It is a common concern that as we journey through life, particularly as we enter our senior years, subtle changes in our personal scent might occur. This is a natural part of aging, and there is absolutely no reason to feel any embarrassment about it. In fact, understanding these changes and the habits that might contribute to them can empower us to maintain a feeling of freshness and boost our confidence. This in-depth exploration delves into 8 surprising bathroom habits that, according to medical professionals, can inadvertently lead to less desirable body odor in older women, even when we are diligently striving for impeccable hygiene. We aim to provide simple, practical, and highly effective fixes to help you stay in tune with your body's natural rhythms and live your life with boldness, vibrancy, and beauty at every stage. Before we begin this important discussion, your support is deeply appreciated. If you find the information in this video valuable and helpful, please consider liking it. Your like significantly aids our mission to continue spreading vital lessons about aging gracefully and maintaining well-being. If you haven't already, we strongly encourage you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell. This ensures you won't miss any future video releases designed to offer you ongoing wisdom and practical advice. To help us gauge your engagement and improve our future content, please comment with the number 1 if you genuinely enjoyed this video and found it beneficial. Conversely, if for any reason this video did not meet your expectations, please comment with the number 0. This feedback is invaluable, allowing us to refine our approach and deliver even better content for you. Now, let us commence our journey into these essential insights. Part 1. The overzealous use of soap in intimate areas. In my younger years, I approached my daily shower with the fervor of a dedicated cleaning specialist, meticulously lathering every single inch of my body with heavily perfumed soaps and luxurious body washes. I was particularly meticulous about my intimate areas, scrubbing with an intensity that I believed would surely earn me a gold star for unparalleled cleanliness. My underlying belief was quite simple and, I thought, logical. More soap equated to enhanced freshness. The enticing array of floral-scented feminine hygiene products that lined the shelves of drugstores only served to reinforce this deeply ingrained mindset. However, here lies the surprising twist. For years, no one, not my mother, not my closest confidants, and certainly not my doctor until many years later, ever informed me that this aggressive cleansing regimen was in fact doing more harm than good. The fundamental truth is that our intimate areas are remarkably sophisticated systems, finely tuned for self-regulation. The vaginal ecosystem is intrinsically designed to maintain a delicate equilibrium, a precise balance of beneficial bacteria, and a specific pH level, typically residing between 3.8 and 4.5. This carefully calibrated environment is crucial for warding off infections and ensuring overall health and natural odor control. This natural system operates much like a perfectly orchestrated symphony, with each component playing its vital role in maintaining perfect harmony. Yet, when we introduce harsh soaps, fragranced body washes, or even those products marketed as gentle feminine hygiene solutions, we are essentially introducing chaos into this intricate system. These products, often laden with an array of chemicals, potent fragrances, and alcohol, have the detrimental effect of stripping away the beneficial bacteria and disrupting the natural acidity. This disruption creates an environment where harmful bacteria or yeast can proliferate with ease. The inevitable consequence is the emergence of unpleasant odors, irritating sensations, or even infections such as bacterial vaginosis or yeast infections. These issues arise not because of a lack of cleanliness, but precisely because we have overcleaned and irrevocably upset the delicate internal balance. I learned this lesson through personal experience, enduring years of recurring discomfort and frustration, constantly questioning why my earnest efforts to maintain freshness seemed to backfire so dramatically. A candid and eye-opening conversation with my gynecologist finally provided me with the clarity I desperately needed. It is essential to understand that the vagina is inherently self-cleaning. It does not require internal scrubbing or harsh cleansing agents. The inner vaginal canal naturally produces mucus, which serves the vital function of flushing out dead cells and bacteria, thereby maintaining internal balance. For the external areas, commonly known as the vulva, the use of warm water is typically sufficient for adequate cleansing. If you feel the need for a cleansing product, it is paramount to opt for a fragrance-free, pH-balanced formula, specifically designed for intimate areas, and to use it sparingly, applying it only to the external skin, never internally. Products such as wipes, sprays, or douches might offer a fleeting sensation of freshness, but they frequently contain irritants that can lead to dryness, persistent itching, or even more significant discomfort. My most sincere advice is to trust in your body's innate natural processes. The less you interfere with its inherent rhythm and balance, the healthier and fresher you will ultimately feel. Should you notice a persistent odor or experience discomfort, resist the urge to resort to more aggressive soap use. Instead, consult a qualified healthcare provider to rule out any underlying medical issues. Your body possesses a remarkable inherent wisdom. Therefore, allow it to perform its natural functions effectively. Part 2. The neglected chore of washing towels. Now let us turn our attention to an area of our hygiene routines that often escapes our conscious thought: our bath towels. If I were to ask you right now, when was the last time you washed your bath towel? Would you find yourself pausing to reflect? I will candidly admit that I was once quite guilty of allowing my towel to hang in the bathroom for an extended period. My reasoning was rather simplistic. I am clean when I emerge from the shower, so logically the towel should remain clean as well, correct? Oh, how profoundly mistaken I was. It was only when I began to notice a faint, musty odor lingering on my skin, even after what I considered a thorough shower, that I finally recognized the detrimental impact my towel was having on my hygiene efforts. Let us delve into the science behind this phenomenon. Bath towels, by their very nature, are highly absorbent and act as magnets for moisture. Bacteria and fungi flourish in damp, warm environments, creating an ideal breeding ground for microbial growth. Every single time you dry yourself and then hang your towel in a steamy bathroom, particularly one that lacks adequate ventilation, you are inadvertently creating a microenvironment conducive to the proliferation of germs. These opportunistic microbes can include common skin bacteria, various types of mold, or even mildew. These not only contribute to that unpleasant towel odor, but can also be transferred back onto your freshly cleaned skin, thereby compromising your hygiene efforts. For someone like me, who in the past would reuse the same towel for an entire week in the name of perceived efficiency and water conservation, this realization was a significant wake-up call. I genuinely believed I was acting in an environmentally conscious manner, but I was quite unknowingly jeopardizing my skin's health. Dermatologists universally recommend washing bath towels after every 3 to 4 uses to effectively keep bacteria at bay. If you reside in a region with a consistently humid climate, or if your bathroom suffers from poor air circulation, such as lacking windows or possessing a weak exhaust fan, you may need to wash them even more frequently, perhaps after every 2 uses. To simplify this necessary task, consider adopting a systematic towel rotation strategy. Maintain an arsenal of at least 3 towels. One towel should be the one you are currently using. A second towel should be the one that is air drying after being washed. And the third towel should be a clean, fresh one, ready for immediate use. This method ensures that you are never left to use a damp, germ-laden towel. Another highly effective tip is to ensure that your towel dries completely between uses. Spread it out fully on a towel rack rather than bunching it up. Furthermore, consider investing in a small dehumidifier specifically for your bathroom if ventilation is a persistent issue. Since I have diligently incorporated more frequent washing of my towels and made a conscious effort to ensure they dry thoroughly, I have observed a tangible improvement in how clean my skin feels. My bathroom exudes a fresher scent, and that persistent musty towel odor has become a distant memory. It is a remarkably small change, yet the positive impact on overall hygiene and well-being is substantial. If you are still engaged with this video and find these lessons to be genuinely genuinely useful, please take a moment to comment with the number 1 below. This feedback is invaluable in letting us know that you are actively watching and absorbing the information alongside us. Thank you for dedicating your valuable time to this important discussion. Part 3: The often ignored importance of foot care. Let us engage in a frank discussion about a topic that rarely garners attention or acclaim: our feet. They are, by nature, not the most glamorous part of our anatomy, are they? We tend to accord them the absolute minimum of care and attention, especially when they are concealed within socks and shoes for the entirety of the day. I must confess, for a significant portion of my life, I was the undisputed queen of neglecting my feet. My shower routine was remarkably basic. It consisted of allowing the water to cascade over them, perhaps a cursory swipe with a soapy washcloth, and then considering the task complete. I never bothered with thorough scrubbing or, crucially, drying between my toes under the misguided assumption that my feet were perfectly fine as long as they were not visibly dirty. However, as I progressed through the years and entered different stages of my life, I began to notice a distinct and undeniable problem: a sour, unpleasant odor emanating from my shoes, even on days when I had not engaged in any particularly strenuous activity or experienced excessive sweating. This was not only embarrassing, but also deeply perplexing, as I could not fathom the source of this persistent issue. The underlying cause of this problem lies in the natural changes that our skin undergoes as we age. Younger skin possesses a more efficient mechanism for shedding dead skin cells, but as we mature, this cellular turnover process naturally slows down. Consequently, dead skin cells can accumulate on our feet, particularly in areas such as the heels and, crucially, between the toes. This accumulation creates an ideal environment, a veritable feast for odor-causing bacteria to thrive. When you factor in the inherent propensity of feet to sweat, they are equipped with over 250,000 sweat glands. You have a perfect recipe for unpleasant odors if proactive measures are not taken. My previously minimalist approach to foot cleaning allowed dead skin cells and lingering moisture to persist, inadvertently transforming my feet into a clandestine source of odor. Thankfully, I have completely revamped my approach, and the difference has been nothing short of transformative. During every shower, I now dedicate a full minute, at a minimum, to the care of my feet. I utilize a soft washcloth and a mild, fragrance-free soap to gently cleanse every surface, paying particular attention to the soles, the heels, and yes, meticulously reaching between each toe where moisture and bacteria find a comfortable haven. For individuals who experience significant dead skin buildup, exfoliating tools such as a pumice stone or a foot file can be incredibly beneficial. However, I recommend using these only once a week to avoid any potential irritation. The true game changer, however, lies in thoroughly drying my feet after washing. I use a clean, dry towel to pat them dry, ensuring that I meticulously reach between each toe to eliminate any residual moisture. During the warmer months, or when I anticipate wearing closed-toe shoes for extended periods, I find it beneficial to sprinkle a small amount of antifungal foot powder into my socks or shoes. This helps to maintain a dry environment and further prevent odor. Caring for your feet extends far beyond simply banishing unpleasant odors. It is an act of profound respect for the diligent workhorses that carry you through every aspect of your life. Neglecting them can unfortunately lead to a range of issues, including the development of athlete's foot, painful cracked heels, or even more serious infections, particularly for individuals managing chronic conditions such as diabetes, which significantly impact foot health. Therefore, ladies, let us collectively commit to giving our feet the devoted attention they truly deserve. A little extra care during your shower, a consistent and thorough drying routine, and the occasional pampering, think a soothing foot soak or a nourishing moisturizer, will undoubtedly keep your feet fresh, healthy, and thoroughly prepared to conquer whatever the day may bring. After all, your feet are the very foundation of your body, and by extension, a significant contributor to your overall confidence. Part 4: The unseen consequences of flushing with the lid open. Let us now delve into a topic that might at first glance elicit a chuckle due to its seemingly mundane nature: but which carries surprisingly significant implications for our health and the cleanliness of our bathrooms. This topic is the act of flushing the toilet with the lid open. When I was first introduced to this concept, I must admit I found it somewhat amusing. It sounded akin to something you might encounter in a quirky science experiment rather than a practical hygiene concern. However, the reality of this practice is far from humorous, and it is firmly supported by robust scientific research. When you flush a toilet with the lid left in the open position, you are in essence initiating a microscopic phenomenon known as a toilet plume. This process involves the expulsion of tiny, often invisible droplets. These droplets can be laden with bacteria, viruses, and a host of other unsavory particles, which are then propelled into the air at surprisingly high velocities. Scientific studies have demonstrably shown that these aerosolized particles can travel distances of up to 6 feet or even further, and they possess the capacity to remain suspended in the air for minutes, and in some cases, even hours. Now, let us consider the profound implications of this. Those minuscule airborne droplets do not simply vanish into thin air. Instead, they inevitably settle on various surfaces throughout your bathroom. Your toothbrush sitting innocently on the counter could potentially become coated. Your hairbrush, your towel, or even the skincare products you routinely apply to your face and body are all vulnerable targets. If you happen to be standing in close proximity to the toilet during the flushing process, these particles can land directly on your skin or, even more concerningly, be inhaled. The stakes are further elevated when we factor in the presence of air fresheners, fragranced toilet bowl cleaners, or other chemical-laden products commonly found in bathrooms. The toilet plume does not solely transport biological contaminants. It can also disperse chemical residues, creating a fine mist that is both unhygienic and potentially irritating to your respiratory system. The remarkable good news is that there is an incredibly simple and effective solution to this pervasive problem. Always, without exception, close the toilet lid before you flush. Since adopting this seemingly minor habit, I have personally observed a marked and noticeable improvement in the overall cleanliness and freshness of my bathroom environment. This is not merely about avoiding the unpleasant aesthetic or gross factor, although that is certainly a significant motivator for many. Closing the lid demonstrably reduces the dispersal of bacteria and those subtle, often unnoticed odors that can accumulate over time, even within what appears to be a meticulously clean bathroom. It is a small, effortless change that yields disproportionately large benefits, ensuring that your bathroom remains a true sanctuary of hygiene. After all, the cleanest bathroom is one where you do not detect any odors whatsoever, because they are simply not present. If you are still actively engaged with this video and finding these lessons to be of significant value, please take a moment to comment with the number 2 below. This signifies your continued attention and allows us to acknowledge your dedication. Thank you for your valuable time and your continued engagement. Part 5. The often overlooked habit of wearing underwear to bed. Let us now address a habit that, if we are being honest with ourselves, many of us have likely indulged in at some point, myself included. Envision this scenario. You are unwinding for the evening, comfortably slipping into your favorite pair of cozy pajamas and preparing to climb into bed. In that moment of transition, you might pause and consider, do I really need to change my underwear? I've just been lounging around the house. I haven't exactly been running a marathon. It is undeniably tempting to simply continue wearing the same pair of underwear you have had on all day, especially if they feel particularly comfortable. However, here lies a crucial truth. This seemingly innocuous choice could be undermining your personal hygiene and comfort, particularly as we advance in age. Throughout the course of the day, our bodies naturally produce sweat, oils, and moisture. Even when we are not engaged in strenuous physical activity, these bodily excretions, along with shed skin cells and naturally occurring bacteria, inevitably accumulate in our underwear. When you elect to wear the same pair of underwear to bed, you are effectively trapping all of these elements against your skin for several hours within a warm, enclosed environment. This creates prime real estate for odor-causing bacteria to proliferate with remarkable ease. This issue is particularly exacerbated if your underwear is constructed from synthetic materials such as nylon, polyester, or spandex, as these fabrics are generally less breathable than natural fibers like cotton. Over time, this persistent trapping of moisture and bacteria can lead to skin irritation, increased moisture retention in sensitive areas, and, regrettably, the development of unpleasant odors that can linger well into the morning. So, what precisely is the recommended solution to this common predicament? Medical professionals and dermatologists universally advise swapping out your daytime underwear for a fresh, clean pair before you go to sleep. Ideally, you should select underwear made from cotton or other breathable natural fibers. These materials allow for better air circulation and possess the capacity to wick away moisture effectively. For those individuals who are comfortable with it, an even more liberating and potentially beneficial option is to forego underwear altogether at night. This practice provides your skin with the maximum opportunity to breathe freely, significantly reducing the risk of irritation, keeping sensitive areas drier, and promoting a fresher, more comfortable sensation upon waking. Since making this simple yet profound change in my nightly routine, I have noticed a subtle but remarkably significant improvement in my morning experience. It is one of those minor adjustments that feels surprisingly luxurious and contributes to a consistent feeling of being at your absolute best. Part 6. The often forgotten task of cleaning the bathroom trash bin. Let us now confess to a common oversight, a task that many of us have either neglected or, more accurately, failed to undertake. For an extended period of years, I remained blissfully unaware of the critical importance of maintaining the cleanliness of my bathroom trash bin. Like a vast number of people, I had a small, lidded bin strategically placed near the toilet for convenience. My routine involved simply tossing in used tissues, cotton swabs, hygiene products, and various other small refuse items. My approach was remarkably straightforward: empty it when it appeared full, and that was the extent of my involvement. It never once occurred to me that this unassuming receptacle could be a silent saboteur in my otherwise meticulously maintained bathroom. Herein lies the fundamental problem. Even a relatively small trash bin can transform into a potent breeding ground for odors and bacteria if it is not properly managed and cleaned on a regular basis. Every discarded item, whether it is a damp tissue, a used hygiene product, or even a seemingly innocuous cotton pad, contributes microscopic amounts of moisture and organic material to the bin's contents. Within the confines of a lidded bin, these elements become trapped, creating a warm, humid environment where bacteria and mold can flourish with alarming efficiency. Over time, this leads to the development of a faint but persistent musty or sour odor that can permeate your entire bathroom, irrespective of how diligently you clean the visible surfaces. I was genuinely taken aback to realize that my perception of a clean bathroom was being compromised by a subtle odor to which I had unfortunately grown accustomed. The root cause? I was not affording my trash bin the attention and care it so clearly deserved. Fortunately, the solution to this issue is both straightforward and requires minimal effort. Currently, I make it a point to empty my bathroom bin every few days, irrespective of its perceived fullness. Once a week, I dedicate a few moments to thoroughly wipe down the interior of the bin with a disinfectant spray or a vinegar-based cleaning solution. This action effectively eliminates any lingering bacteria or residual odors. For an added layer of odor control and freshness, I occasionally sprinkle a small amount of baking soda or a few drops of my favorite essential oil into the bottom of the bin. This helps to absorb and neutralize any persistent smells. These small, incremental steps, collectively taking less than 5 minutes to implement, have profoundly transformed the overall ambiance of my bathroom. The space now consistently feels fresher, and I have received numerous positive comments from guests regarding how clean and inviting the bathroom is. While a well-maintained bathroom trash bin might initially seem like a minor detail, it is in fact a game changer when it comes to creating a truly hygienic and pleasant environment for yourself and your visitors. Part 7. The neglect of unwashed bathrobes. Let us paint a familiar picture. You have just stepped out of a wonderfully luxurious, steamy shower. Your skin tingles with that exquisite sensation of being squeaky clean. The world, at this moment, feels perfectly aligned. You reach for your trusted bathrobe, faithfully hanging on its designated hook, and then wrap yourself in its soft, plush embrace. It is akin to receiving a warm, comforting hug from an old friend, familiar, reassuring, and supremely cozy. But here lies a question that might give you pause. When was the very last time you actually washed that bathrobe? If you find yourself nodding in agreement with my past self, your answer might be a sheepish, I can't quite recall. Bathrobes possess a peculiar ability to deceive us. They often feel clean simply because we only don them after we have meticulously scrubbed ourselves spotless. Surely a garment that we wear only in the post-shower period cannot harbor anything unsavory, can it? Sadly, this assumption is incorrect. Let us break down the reality of the situation. Immediately following a shower, your skin is inherently damp, and this residual moisture inevitably transfers to the fabric of your bathrobe as you wrap it around yourself. If the robe is not hung properly to dry, for instance, if it is left crumpled on a hook in a bathroom with poor ventilation, or perhaps shoved behind the door, that trapped moisture creates an ideal environment for unwanted elements to thrive. Bacteria, mold, and mildew begin to proliferate within those damp fibers, effectively transforming your once cozy robe into a veritable petri dish teeming with uninvited guests. You might not notice this gradual accumulation at first, but over time, your bathrobe can develop a faint, musty odor. Have you ever caught a subtle whiff of something slightly off on your skin, even after what you believed was a thorough shower? You might instinctively blame your soap or deodorant, but the true culprit could very well be that unwashed, neglected robe. The odor clings to your clean skin, subtly undermining all the diligent effort you invested in your hygiene routine. It is a subtle betrayal, but one that is remarkably easy to rectify once you are aware of the issue. Here is precisely how I addressed this problem, and I can attest that it has made a world of difference. Firstly, I made a firm commitment to wash my bathrobe every single week, no exceptions. To simplify this process and ensure consistent cleanliness, I invested in a second bathrobe. This allows me to rotate between the two, ensuring that one is always clean and fully dry while the other is in active use. When hanging my robe, I now consciously select a location that offers ample airflow, such as an open drying rack or a well-ventilated area of the bathroom, rather than allowing it to languish in a damp, forgotten corner. A bathrobe that is afforded the opportunity to dry properly is significantly less likely to harbor bacteria or develop that telltale, unpleasant, musty scent. The result? My bathrobe now smells unequivocally like fresh laundry, crisp, clean, and inviting, rather than a forgotten relic at the back of a closet. It is a small change indeed, but one that demonstrably elevates the entire post-shower experience. You will feel genuinely clean, enveloped in a robe that is as fresh and revitalizing as you are. Trust me on this. Once you embrace this simple switch, you will never willingly return to the days of the "I'll wash it eventually" bathrobe. If you are still actively engaged with this video and finding these lessons to be of significant value, please take a moment to comment with the number 3 below. This signifies your continued attention and allows us to acknowledge your dedication. Thank you for your valuable time and your continued engagement. Part 8. The often overlooked post-shave cleanse. This next hygiene tip, I must confess, caught me completely by surprise, and I am willing to wager that it might also prove to be quite a revelation for you. Like many individuals, I previously held the belief that shaving my underarms was, in essence, a one-way ticket to achieving cleaner, fresher underpits. After all, the removal of hair means less surface area for sweat and odor to adhere to, does it not? While this premise holds true in theory, there exists a critical detail that I was inadvertently overlooking, and it can profoundly impact the efficacy of your underarm hygiene routine. When you shave your underarms, you are not merely cutting away the hair. The razor also functions as a gentle exfoliant, effectively scraping away dead skin cells, residual deodorant, and even some of the bacteria that naturally reside on your skin's surface. This sounds like a beneficial outcome, doesn't it? Herein lies the crucial catch. All of that debris, the dead skin cells, the lingering deodorant residue, and the disturbed bacteria does not magically dissipate into thin air. It can remain on your skin, lurking in the freshly shaved area, unless you take an extra mindful step to thoroughly clean it away. If left behind, this accumulated buildup becomes an ideal breeding ground for odor, thereby negating the intended benefits of shaving and potentially leading to you smelling worse than you did before you began. Dermatologists and seasoned hygiene experts consistently highlight the underarm region as one of the body's most bacteriologically active zones. The warm, moist environment there is akin to a five-star resort for microbes. And shaving, while generally beneficial for reducing body odor, can inadvertently stir things up if you do not follow through with proper post-shave cleansing. Therefore, what is the recommended solution to this overlooked issue? It is, in fact, far simpler than you might initially imagine, but it requires a conscious and mindful addition to your existing routine. After you have finished shaving your underarms, take a moment to gently rinse the area with warm water. This simple action will help to wash away the loosened debris. Subsequently, use a soft, clean washcloth to lightly wipe the area. It is imperative to avoid aggressive scrubbing, as freshly shaved skin can be exceptionally sensitive. This gentle cleansing action effectively removes the dead skin cells, bacteria, and deodorant residue that shaving invariably leaves behind, thereby providing you with a truly clean slate. Once you have rinsed and gently cleansed the area, pat it dry with a clean towel. Allow your skin a few moments to breathe freely before applying any deodorant or antiperspirant. I personally find this to be an opportune moment to proceed with my facial skincare routine, cleansing my face, applying toner, and so forth, while my underarms have a chance to air out for a few minutes. This seemingly small step has been an absolute game changer for me. My underarms feel noticeably fresher, and that sensation of cleanliness extends far longer throughout the day. The lingering underarm odor that I used to occasionally notice even after shaving has completely disappeared. It has been replaced by a profound sense of confidence that stems from knowing I have addressed every potential angle of my hygiene routine. By incorporating this quick post-shave cleanse into your habits, you will unlock a level of freshness you likely never even knew you were missing. It is a small, easily manageable effort that yields a remarkably significant and rewarding payoff.